Priya stood with Rocky in front of her mom and sister, hope in her heart and confidence in her eyes. Her mom angrily pointed at the door and said,
"This boy is not right for you. He's from a poor family. I want him out of this house right now."
Rocky looked at Priya for a moment, as if understanding her unspoken feelings, and quietly walked toward the door. Tears filled Priya's eyes, but she firmly said to her mom,
"Mom, I will only marry Rocky no matter what."
After days of arguments and discussions, her mom and sister finally gave up. Priya and Rocky got married. However, their happiness was incomplete. 8 years had passed, but her mom and sister were still upset with her for marrying her poor classmate. Priya, however, was content because she loved Rocky and always wanted to marry him. The story begins at this point, where Priya is living with the consequences of her decision, with gratitude and courage. One day, Priya's sister Preeti came to visit her. That night, as Preeti went to the kitchen for water, she heard Rocky snoring loudly from Priya's room. The next morning, Preeti said,
Priya, marrying Rocky was a huge mistake. He snores so loudly. How do you even live with him?"
Priya smiled calmly and replied,
I am thankful that my husband snores. It reminds me that he is alive. This thought helps me sleep peacefully, even with the snoring.
Preeti was surprised by her reply. Soon, Priya's 7-year-old daughter came and said, Mom, mosquitoes bit me all night and I couldn't sleep well. Priya comforted her and said, Don't worry, dear. The weather will change soon and the mosquitoes will go away. Now get ready for school. Preeti couldn't believe how Priya found happiness in every situation. She said, You always see the positive side of everything. Priya replied, I am thankful that my daughter is strong. Even though mosquitoes bit her, she slept peacefully. This will help her in life. If she ever faces hard times, she will know how to stay strong and adapt. Preeti was impressed by Priya's positive attitude. Later, Preeti noticed the electricity bill was Rs 5,000. She said, Priya, your electricity bill is so high. With Rocky's low income, how will you manage? This must be so stressful. Priya smiled and said, I am thankful we have electricity. Without it, life would be so hard. That evening, Priya cooked a simple meal of chapati and curry. Preeti said,
Don't you get tired of eating the same food every day? At my house, we eat a variety of dishes.
Priya replied,
I'm happy with this simple food. It keeps me healthy and energetic. Since I started eating light meals, I haven't fallen sick.
Preeti also noticed Priya working all day and feeling tired by evening. She said, Priya, you do all the housework yourself. At my house, we have maids. You should have married a rich man so you wouldn't have to do all this work. Priya calmly said, I am thankful for the strength God has given me. Doing housework keeps me active and healthy. Before marriage, even a little work tired me out, but now I am much stronger. Preeti was amazed by Priya's words and realized that Priya's hard work made her healthier and happier. The next day, Priya was cleaning the windows, and Preeti said, Why don't you hire someone to do this? Priya replied, I feel happy cleaning my house. It makes me grateful for having a home with windows and doors. Many people in the world don't even have proper houses and live in huts. Preeti also noticed that Priya woke up early every day as soon as the alarm rang. She said, I sleep until I wake up naturally. Why do you wake up so early every day? Priya replied, I am thankful for every new morning God gives me. Breathing in the fresh morning air keeps me healthy. One day, Priya gave money to children during a family gathering. Preeti was surprised and said, Rocky doesn't earn much. How can you afford to give this much money? How will you manage the rest of the month? Priya smiled and said, I am thankful for having so many relatives. Seeing their children happy brings me peace. Without them, life would feel so empty. Preeti returned home, having learned a valuable lesson from her sister. She realized that being grateful and finding joy in small things can bring peace and happiness to life. Preeti now understood why elders always say, be thankful to God. Gratitude brings happiness, peace, and contentment. This lesson changed her perspective on life forever.